a message for my people.
Nick Dad, baby. We the new label.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, son.
Now this the black sheep sticking its home. I need a crib like I'm Gatsby.
I need it.
In hand, just understand my
Pockets that deep.
with nothing to prove. I ain't got nothing to do. When they can't compete and I got nothing to lose. You see, they told me I'm the one that's gonna
Yes, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to the number one sports betting vibe on the planet. Veterans Minimum, all things Veterans Minimum are at Veterans Minimum. George Carmona to my
4-1, motherfuckers, is what you could call me. 4-1, baby.
Talk to him.
Lost one, and it was my toxic pick that I didn't bet because that's what the toxic pick is. So really, I went 4-0. I parlayed all four of those picks with a college football pick on Saturday that I can't remember right now. Hit a 5-leg parlay over the weekend. Fuck with your boy. Didn't post it for anybody because sometimes the long shots when the accounts are low, they don't make it. But just know that I tailed you responsibly. You were on a heater. Now I'm on a heater. And now the show is hot.
Hey, listen, man.
The show is hot.
6-1. Trust me, with the Browns, 6-1. Full disclosure, I put $250 on them minus 2.5, and I cash out.
When?
So I cash out before the game starts.
Oh, my God.
And I split it up into thirds. And I bet Chargers minus 1.5, so I lose that. I bet the Browns minus 2.5, and then I took the Giants at +8. They covered.
Right.
Then I also sprinkled a little money line, and I was miserable for many reasons. But yeah, it was a good weekend, man. Listen, bro, anytime touchdowns, you want to hear some of the plays that I gave out that hit?
Let's hear it.
Like, bro, you're talking about, like, I don't do anytime touchdown minus 180s. If we do, it's parlayed with something else. But George, like, we kind of went off. So we had Travis Hunter plus 300. We had Judkins minus 150, but we had Judkins 2 touchdowns. I said it on the episode if you guys had heard it. I know George and I, we had recorded on Riverside for that episode, but I said Judkins was going to have his breakout game because everyone has one against the Miami Dolphins. Plus 500 for him to score 2 touchdowns. I had Bo Nix plus 285, had Jackson Dart plus 310. Had CeeDee Lamb plus 110. He scored a big one there. I bought into the narrative of Cortland Sutton dedicating the game to Demaryius Thomas, who they honored him in pregame. But he played okay, didn't score a touchdown. So we did pretty well on that, man. We did pretty well on the picks on Patreon. We went 1-3 overall last week. Went 2-3 because the Bucks didn't cover with the toxic one. The Lions actually covered. But yeah, man, it was a good week for anytime touchdown.
Yeah, bro. And I see that you're wearing the Broncos colors today in representation of Demaryius Thomas. Did you know Demaryius Thomas passed away at age 33? In his Ring of Fame introduction game, the Broncos scored 33 points in the fourth quarter, had 2 8-point drives, a nod to number 88. The defense recorded 33 solo tackles, and they started the game-winning drive with 33 seconds left. He was there. And you're representing it well. So, shout out to you to making the full change to being a believer.
Oh, man. How can I even, respond to that? First of all, I love Demaryius Thomas. He was one of my favorite receivers. Super class act, balled out, fucking would put up monster numbers, consistent. And you say all that stuff, I can't even respond negatively to that. I'm not that much of a
I can't
piece
be
of
that. Yeah. My bad. I didn't mean to step on you. It's just crazy coincidence, I'm not a big. Well, I kind of am spiritual. That's nuts,
bro. Yeah, that's. I didn't know all that stuff. The amount of tackles, the amount of seconds left in the game. The roller coaster of emotions.
Walk me through it.
First of all, Cameron calls me right before the pass interference, which, full disclosure, stop rewarding quarterbacks for shitty throws. It's been a pet peeve of mine forever, but like I always say, when it's in your team's favor, great call. Great call. Bullshit call, but Cam called me there. I had my mom was overseas. She was traveling back. She hit me up. I was like, yo, if someone is dying right now, it gotta wait. Just being honest. I'll get to you after. If it's an emergency right now, the franchise is driving down the field. Bro, like this, not only my heart rate, but just my emotions. Like, do you want the negative or the positive first? What would you like me to start with?
I'd like to start with the positive, and then we could get really angry about this at the end.
The positive. I always like to judge players on my team by how other fans feel about them. We fucking got one, bro. We got a motherfucking dog in number 6, okay? On the road, needing a touchdown to win the game on a 4th and 17. Did we get a favorable spot? Yeah, but he also drew the roughing the passer. Like, I'm getting chills about that because that was such a fucking, my balls are on the table. You're going to enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy it. This is what you're dealing with for the next 12 plus. And then he scores that touchdown too. And the gift and the curse of the new PAT being moved back is that you ain't really celebrating until you see the kick. I've been talking about this shit for years, how it became interesting because they would have to make you watch if the dude hits the PAT. And the moment he missed the PAT, George, I dropped down to one knee and I was just like, I've seen this before. Just seen it before. And we got robbed of everybody leading every show with the Giants are back. Can they win the division? Can they make the playoffs? They found their new quarterback. All this shit was right there for them. And we got robbed of the Jackson Dart, like, legacy game, or not legacy game, but a rival game. Like, dude, 3 touchdowns on the road in Denver. That place was quiet for 3.5 quarters. Even Bo Nix said, like, hey, I wish y'all didn't leave. But they were playing like shit. Mm-hmm. And let me give you another one. The Broncos score off a tipped pass, right? Yeah. And you're like, uh-oh. But then the Giants get one back with Theo Johnson, plus 475 anytime touchdown, by the way. But they got a gift. Because how long you been watching football? When you see, like, ball gets deflected, hits off a shoulder pad, and then the guy...
You know it's over, bro.
You know it's over. But then it happens in your favor. You're like, all right, that negated it. We're good. Correct. We're back. We're back.
Offsetting crazy plays, repeat, third down.
Yeah. And that was my biggest takeaway. And, like, I feel like only losers get the, but at least you had fun. There's always next, like, don't do that to me.
No.
Don't do that to me. But that was the one thing I took from that. And then Sean Payton, did you hear Sean Payton fucking throw Russell Wilson under the bus? Did you hear his post game?
No, I heard he said they got a little bit of a spark with that guy. But is that what you're referencing?
That, but prior to that, he says, I was talking to the Mara family and I was hoping we would see Russell.
Bro. Yes, I did. Okay. What? I do remember that.
Yes. But it was the same clip. It was like the same interview. I was going through it yesterday, so I watched fucking Nick Bonito get interviewed and Cooper getting interviewed. Like I was going through it, bro. And then of course, Cam and Mace invite me onto the show. Of course, that's when they decide to invite me on the show. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you too. You fucks. Of all the times to make an appearance on the show, it's when like we just got embarrassed. No team has ever suffered a loss like that. 33 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So I gave you a little bit of the good and the bad.
The 2 losses that Jackson Dart has had, and I'll say this because I know that the Monday winner you guys are going to want to stick around for because it involves the Giants. But the 2 losses you guys have had on the road, crazy shit has happened. Like this is something where it wasn't like you guys got dominated. You guys put on good enough showings to compete, and it just so happened that the turnover bug hit you, and same situation here. And I think that the Giants are still in a good spot. Scattaboo for Offensive Rookie of the Year looks better and better every week, especially after some of the drops that Abuka had tonight. And I'm still a big fan of the G-Men.
Listen, you could definitely be a big fan of the G-Men, and I'm trying to pull up something now. That's why I'm on my phone. About Jackson Dart and these first couple games. First player to have 7 or more touchdown passes in his first 4 starts, 3 touchdowns on the ground. I feel like you gotta bet him. He's gonna be like, I think the comp of him being Jalen Hurts is one of my favorite comps that I've said, because he's going to be scoring inside the red zone a lot. If you could get anything plus on him anytime touchdown, you got to fucking bet that shit. Even if I don't put it out on Patreon or on Discord, you got to fucking play that. He's scored in almost every game. He has 3 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
And 4 years from now, does he not score? This is an argument that I don't understand, because, like, honestly, bro, it's pissing me off, because it happened on the Thursday night game too. T. Higgins slid instead of walking into the end zone. Bro, you see these kickers score a touchdown. I want you to score a touchdown. I don't want these fucking losers coming out there to kick a field goal. How many under 30-yard field goals have we seen? The Rams have missed 2.
Yeah.
Bro, kickers are changing legacies. Kickers have been changing and altering people's legacies for years. I'd rather you score. Now, Dart, 3-4 years from now, everyone's like, oh, he'll be more experienced. He doesn't score on that first down. It's like, fuck that. Because what happens if he doesn't score? What happens if he has a walk-in touchdown and then he takes a knee? And then he's like, oh, I wanted to run out the clock. And what happens if you get stuffed? Then what is everyone saying? Oh, you should have scored the first time. Rookie mistake. Their interception he threw, abysmal. Terrible interception. You don't make that on a second down play. You do not make that kind of interception. You know how I feel about interceptions. I kind of think they're overrated, but I don't want you throwing picks inside your 20.
Correct.
And inside the red zone. Against the Saints, he had 2 turnovers on 4th down. You're trying to make a play. I could live with that.
Correct.
I prefer that.
Correct.
I don't want this, it's 4th and 8, missionary, check down to the running back. Hopefully he makes a play. Like, nah, fucking sling it, bro.
But on the drives where they stalled, the Giants stalled in the 4th quarter, we can't be uber predictable. We can't go Cam Scattaboo 2 runs directly up the middle and then hope that Dart can pull us out of something, being behind the sticks on 3rd and 8. That's just not a good offense. A good offense would be throwing the quick out route and trusting your receivers aside from doing the most obvious thing, and a point in time of the game where first downs are like gold in the 4th quarter. And if you can't put yourself in that mindset that we still need to wind the clock down, this is what happens. And I think it's a valuable lesson for a young quarterback to learn. I can't wait for him to get a win on the road, because, like I said, bro, two losses that I can't make sense of.
Yeah.
And this is not his fault. I still think that the Giants are a team that you can look to make a bet at them to make the playoffs or possibly still compete for that NFC East title. I thoroughly believe that.
If they would have won yesterday, it would have felt a lot better, because let me just give you my Monday winner now.
Go ahead.
Monday winner this week. The Eagles are 7-point favorites. You know how George, shout out to George, by the way, alt spread on the Pats, would have had it. that pick at the end, they should have beat them by 30.
Yes.
They should have beat them by 30.
The Titans got a trash touchdown. If it would have just been the lone field goals, I would have gotten the Patriots to cover by.
Yeah.
Whale play would have been hit. However, it wasn't.
Listen,
Okay.
I liked it anyway, because a lot of there's certain games on the slate that you just look at it and you're like, oh, we know who the pros are going to be on. And even me, I thought the Pats -7.5, -7. I wasn't going to bet it. It was probably going to be a dog or pass, but even then it was like, let me not. Third game on the road. They just covered the first two. Like a lot of different shit. But then you have the revenge factor of Mike Vrabel.
Which didn't mean anything, by the way.
Probably feels bad for them, bro.
He does feel bad for them. He felt really bad for Brian Callahan. He sent him a text after he got fired. And I know he would have probably took it even easier on him. But that's why this Patriots team is good. They don't need to go here with it. You know what I mean? And what we saw revenge-wise from Stephon Diggs versus the Bills, and that Patriots team is really just Stephon Diggs. That doesn't represent the way the rest of the team feels. That's a really solid team. We'll get there.
Back up.
You said Monday winner.
Monday
I don't
winner, right?
Get off this. Yes.
The Eagles are 7-point favorites. They're going to be at home. They are going to violate the New York Giants in ways that it has to be on an X-rated video website. Like bad. It's going to be bad. Barkley hasn't gone crazy yet. Jalen Hurts and the passing offense came out over 300 receiving yards for Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. Just knowing this, I think the Giants season is over. I think it was a loss that breaks the locker room. People want people fired. We have sources with the Giants, as people know that listen to the show. Rough plane ride back home. Shit was really quiet and a lot of anger. I think they go into Philly and it looks bad. It looks really bad. The -7. Prove us wrong if you're Jackson Dart. Continue to play the way you've been playing. You haven't been the issue, but I think going in there, it's been a house of horrors. The -7 has been great. I have another one too. We'll save for later on. But for me, Monday winner, the Eagles. I have to bet this -7.
Are you thinking alt spread? You know your team really well.
Yeah. No. I think listen, bro. I'm telling you, this is if they keep this game close, I'm very optimistic about the season. But this could be one where it's like, they were talking about trading for an Olave or a Jacoby Myers or a Jalen Waddle. Now, do you? Like, man, they should be 4-3, bro. But shoulda, woulda, coulda. You're not, right?
Yep.
Now, are the Giants a tougher out for teams? This is why I always say, like, when I do eliminator pools, bro, I put 3 condoms on. I just take, who I took in my eliminator pool this week? Chiefs -12.5 money line. I just had to because just win in advance. I'll figure it out as I go. This week, who I'm taking in both my entries? The Colts. They're 14.5-point favorites against the Titans at home. Yeah, I'm 3 condoms. Just get me to the next week because now when you look at the schedule for opponents, Giants are a tougher out. Well, they should be now with Jackson Dart and this offense. Just to put a bow on this conversation, Bo Nix becomes the first quarterback ever to throw for 2 touchdowns and run for 2 touchdowns in the same quarter. The Broncos become the first team in NFL history. You know how long the NFL's been around?
Long time.
A very fucking long time. To be shut out in the first 3 quarters and then put up 33 or more points in the fourth quarter. Listen, we're setting all records, bro. Good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah.
But we got a dog.
You do. You have 2. You only been mentioning the 1, but you got 2.
And yo, look, he's also doing this with like Wan'Dale Robinson. He's having a breakout year. I think he's a perfect slot wide receiver, but he's doing this with like Division 2A wide receivers. Like little Jordan Humphreys is getting 3rd down targets, and he was on the practice squad. Bo Collins is getting the deep shot on the first play of that last drive where the 2 DBs fucking collided against each other, and then the one guy was down for a little bit. This is who Jackson Dart. Wait until Neighbors gets back. Maybe they do make a trade for a Waddle in the offseason. So, yeah, right now it sucks. This could have saved and altered the season, but now, you know what I think the spiral is? Remember how Chicago lost last year, the Hail Mary?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the same thing.
Same situation.
I think you see the Giants, like, plummet. I see the Giants.
That's a good call, man.
I think the Giants win 2 more games the rest of the year. I think they're a 4-13 team just because of that loss right there. It's your Monday winner, folks.
Yeah. As far as you bringing up the Bears from last year, does Jackson Dart remind me any of the storylines that I felt with Caleb Williams? I think it was way worse with the Bears up until that point. So I'm gonna believe you on the Eagles here. I will back that. second time they're seeing him. Like, this is
second time in 3 weeks. Giants were yapping.
the tape is going to expose what this young man has not figured out. And yeah, so I'm with you. Let's go alt spread. Do we do another whale play? I don't know. The money's in the account. We'll see.
Money's in the account, brother. We're feeling good. All right, we spent a lot of time on this, and we had to. I feel like
because
this would be a game we would spend a lot of time on, right? Like, this should never happen. And, add insult to injury. My fade team was Denver this year. I don't like Bo Nix, and he comes alive in the fourth. And it was a rough one yesterday, bro. It definitely was rough. What else, on a more promising note, what else stood out to you that you enjoyed over the weekend?
The Jaguars are frauds.
I love that you mentioned this.
The Jaguars are big frauds.
Do you know why else I like that you mentioned this?
Because Matthew Stafford for MVP looks very nice right now.
It looks a little.
Is he leading the clubhouse?
He's in the top 4.
That's all we're looking for.
And you know what? Now he'll probably definitely be in the top 4 because Baker had a stinker on Monday Night Football. Didn't play up to his expectations.
Called it.
Yes, you did. Good call on that. You're the Baker whisperer.
I'm telling you guys, when it comes to Baker Mayfield, next week, hammer him. Okay? That's all he needs. He just needed one little lost course correction. Hammer Baker next week.
Matthew Stafford threw 5 touchdowns. The Jaguars looked abysmal. It did look, though, on a promising note, even though a lot of it came in garbage time, Travis Hunter got treated like the number 2 overall pick. He had 100 yards, scored his first touchdown in the NFL. Patreon plus 300. You're welcome. Man, I really believe this, bro. I think the Rams are the best team in the league, man. They're going to have a bye week now. They're sitting at 5-2. Both of their losses were really, really stupid. I'd use a different word, but due to our political climate, I'm just going to say stupid. They're going to get Puka back. They're healthy right now. Devontae Adams hat trick in London. Shout out to the EPL. Did I not say that he's the main reason why I'm picking them to win the NFC? Because inside the red zone, he's giving them what Cooper Kupp didn't. Cooper Kupp, last 2 years,
slow out of that whip route that would get him a touchdown every time. There was a guarantee.
Yeah.
Corners would know it's coming, still can't stop it.
Now they were stopping it.
Oh, yeah. And Devontae can go all different ways. He's taller. He's a bigger target. I think that, yeah, it makes sense. The Rams look insane. When they are humming, there's not a team in the NFL, aside from the Colts, that looks that good on offense.
Yeah.
It's those two.
Yeah,
Cream of the crop.
the Colts only loss this year is to the LA Rams. I really like this Rams team, man. They're 5-2. Last week I was telling you Rams and Chiefs, they were 35-1. I bet that on my own. Excuse me. I have a bunch of futures. Obviously we have the Rams and Bills futures at 40-1. Don't feel as confident. I'm really convinced that it's Kansas City, and I just love this Rams team, man. And yeah, Matthew Stafford, he was my MVP pick from fucking May. Gave him out at 45-1. Now he's plus 800 at the time that we're recording. It's not even halftime of the second Monday Night Football game. He just balled out, dude. He's playing at such a high level. And to your point, right? Terrence Ferguson touchdown, Devontae a hat trick. Even like Tutu Atwell didn't catch a pass, but like he's someone you got to worry about too. And they're one of the few teams that runs out of 3 tight end sets. It's not something that they always do. Yeah,
I know. That was the big thing because I had heard that Liam Cohen and him, they dated back and they coached together. And that was the one thing that had happened to Sean McVay versus Belichick back in the day of they showed a completely different offense. And that's what the Rams were able to do this game and took full advantage of that Jaguars team, which, yeah, we called it perfectly. That was their moment. It was the big win. We did not miss out on the Jaguars' biggest win in most recent franchise history. However, they are back to exactly what we thought they were. Could not run the ball effectively at all. And the Rams continue to do what they did. Can I hit the next game?
Sure, yeah.
Everybody who is saying Spencer Rattler is a competent quarterback, I need you to elaborate on what you were looking at. And I think don't get necessarily confused with conservative quarterback and competent quarterback. It's easy to confuse the two because my favorite aspects of a quarterback are quarterbacks that don't turn the ball over. They do a really good job of handing it off. And then I'll repeat, don't turn the ball over. He would fit the mold. However, he just doesn't have the sauce. And it showed up in a game where he did turn the ball over multiple times. And this is a spot in which I would have hammered the Bears because the Saints have just been flying by the seat of their pants this entire year. And this was the unraveling of the New Orleans Saints in Chicago. It's official. We got to move on. We can't keep putting Rattler out there and saying that he is a competent quarterback when you just got a first-round draft pick. Are we going to need to draft another quarterback come April of this next year? There's a kid from Arkansas. He's 6'7". I think he's going to be the best quarterback out of the draft. Maybe he would look good in a Saints uniform and Taylor Green. Do we need to do that? That's what this game highlighted to me, is that the move has to be made within the next 2 weeks, or, I mean, we're just setting the franchise back another 2 years. I think it's 2 more years for quarterback situations that are still getting figured out. At least with the Giants, there's an accurate timeline now with Jackson Dart that this could happen in the next 3 years where we can contend for a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
For the Saints, if you don't play Tyler Shough this year, what are we going to be waiting until fucking 2035 to compete for a title? So I'm pretty upset at the way that the Saints are handling everything here, and we're probably not going to talk about them much the rest of the year because they're shit.
We're not, unless, you know, a Kamara or an Olave get traded, a Demario Davis. Like, you should really sell the farm and just move on from there. You know, it's interesting, man. You mentioned the Saints. Is there not a team on a quieter 4-game winning streak than the Bears? They've won 4 in a row. I know. Look, they beat the Commanders. They beat the Saints. They beat the Cowboys, who look completely different when they're outside as opposed to inside. They beat the Raiders, right? Like, and they kind of barely beat all those teams. But they're 4-2. And, you know, like, they have worse odds now at 4-2 to win the division than they did at the start of the year.
That's insane.
They're 12-1 to win the division right now.
That's insane.
They're 1 game back. They're going to play Chicago at home. They're going to play Detroit at home. But it's just crazy. It's like nobody respect them at all. Literally at all. It's just nuts to me, man. Like, you know, Green Bay's 4-1-1. The tie just makes it seem like they're 4-3. They've just looked like weird. You know, the Super Bowl favorite right now is Chiefs Packers, 15-1.
Interesting.
Very.
I don't see it with the Packers. I mean, they can't protect shit.
They can't protect. You look at their roster and you're like, I like Kraft. Golden looks cool for a rookie. I like Dobbs. Reed's coming back. Watson's coming back. I love the running back. Damn, their defense got some lockdown corners. They got Parsons finally came awake. Like their head coach. Quarterback can sling it. And then you look, they're going through it in Arizona against against the fucking Brissett-led Cardinals, who they've spiraled. They've lost 5 in a row.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I don't get it. Like, that division's so weird. You know, the Lions won. They're 5-2 now also. We have at the top, we got Niners, Eagles, Bucks, Lions, Rams at 5-2. We're going into bye week blues. You know, you got the Rams, Lions are going to be on bye weeks this week. Who knows what Seattle's going to do? They're 4-2 right now. They're currently up 2 touchdowns in the game going on against the Houston Texans, so they might be a 5-2 team as well. It's just this conference looks crazy. That's why so many people were saying this Monday Night Football game between the Bucks and the Lions was so significant, because it could have home field implications and seeding. But man, like, I don't know what it is about the Packers, bro. What do you see with them?
I see a team that can only run the ball. And as soon as the other team gets a lead on you, you start looking rather pedestrian, because those successful Packer offensive drives really are that delicate balance of making sure you could be under center, get the ball to Josh Jacobs in multiple different ways, and be able to run play action off that, so that way Jordan Love's job isn't that hard. Like, this is a quarterback that, I'm going to be honest with you, he only operates really, really good when the run game is also operating really, really good. Like, he's not he has his gunslinger moments, but based on the way the offensive line is played this year, it's just not the way that this team can make a deep run and win playoff games. I'm still not fully sold on the Packers, but after seeing what the Lions are able to do with, I mean, these players were playing in the AFL a couple of weeks ago, practice squad guys in the secondary, I'm still a believer in the system and the culture that has been built out there. And I think that LaFleur is still trying to figure that out. Like, he's still snake bit by the game versus the 49ers, where he elected to kick a field goal, right? Instead of try to go for it and extend the game in the playoffs 4 years ago. So, like, this is a team that I still feel hasn't found a complete offensive identity, and we just see it in spurts, and we like it because they are good pieces. But this is a team that, yeah, if Josh Jacobs can't wear you down and they can't get a lead, it's shot.
I couldn't agree with you more, that take about playing with a lead. Yeah. Yeah, man, it's weird because, like, they have the pieces if they do fall behind. You're like, bro, I got mad weapons. Who are you going to guard on 3rd and 5? But now it's like, who are you going to guard on 3rd and 5? It's cool when you have a bunch of B receivers. Like, you also need an alpha. And I don't know if Watson's going to be that when he comes back, but maybe it's the tight end. Maybe it's Kraft.
Yeah.
Kraft has been balling, man. He's been super balling.
And that could work, but I'm still not sold on the Packers team. Cardinals team, back-to-back years, or dare I say, they're the best team to put your money on against the spread, just because you know it's going to be a close competitive game.
Love them as an underdog. Even though Kyler Murray didn't play, love the Cardinals when they're getting points.
Yep.
When they're a favorite, you're going to be nervous.
For sure.
And they lost as 9-point favorites at home to the only win the Titans have had, who then the following week fired their coach. So, Jonathan Gannon, I hope it's rent and not a mortgage.
Oh, man.
It's going to be tough.
For sure.
One other game I definitely want to touch on, and I got to be honest with the audience, man. Offensive Player of the Year might be in trouble.
Because you were heavy on the Bolts.
That, and also Jonathan Taylor has 10 touchdowns already. Might have a chance to break the touchdown record. Let me throw you a caveat. 60-1 to an MVP. Hear me out. He has 10 touchdowns on the year. He has 697 rushing yards. 2K is in play. He's averaging 5.3 yards per carry. You look at their schedule the rest of the way. Bro, I'm so pissed off at you for not betting them to have the best record in football, because look at their schedule. They play the Titans at home. They play at Pittsburgh. They play the Falcons in Germany, which they fucking robbed us of a classic. That was a 3 touchdown, crazy ladder. Why not put the Offensive Player of the Year in the middle and let that shit dangle like it's a ladder match? Then they play at the Colts. Sorry, then they play at the Chiefs. Excuse me. They play at the Chiefs. That game could get flexed out. Then they play at home against the Texans, at the Jaguars, at Seattle, home Niners, home Jaguars, at Houston. Bro, all these games are indoors. Like, most of them are indoors. He has a legitimate chance to break the touchdown and the rushing record in a single season. 60-1 to win MVP. He's minus 150 to win Offensive Player of the Year now. And look, Bijan Robinson still could get 1K. He's plus 600 right now. His odds dropped. Scored a touchdown yesterday, but he's behind in touchdowns. He does have one less game played. I still feel really good about it. I'm not like it's not Jalen Hurts panic for MVP, even though Hurts had a monster game yesterday. But I want to throw a wrinkle out. I think Jonathan Taylor has been the best player in the league through 7 weeks. Every single game. It's what I used to say about Cooper Kupp. The year he won the Triple Crown, like, bro, he was the MVP. Like, no one had a better season than him, like, start to finish. In all his games, he played well. So I'm just throwing it out there. I think Jonathan Taylor for MVP is definitely in play. Like, none of the quarterbacks have gone crazy. You know, Mahomes and the Chiefs got 3 losses already. He's putting up big numbers. They look fucking phenomenal. But I'm just saying, you haven't had a guy that's like so ahead of the pack that I don't think this is a crazy take.
I don't think it's a crazy take either. This Colts team, you could pick either DJ, Jonathan Taylor. Like, their team is solid. They will, like I've been saying, best offense in football. My Daniel Jones to win MVP. I feel like I've asked this before. Has there been a year where MVP and Offensive Player of the Year has been on the same team? And that would be quite the feat. But if any team to do it, Daniel Jones has taken 6 sacks this year. That's nuts. Like, this offensive line deserves the Offensive Player of the Year award, if I'm being honest. Why don't they do that? Why don't they have a best offensive line unit award? NFL. That's an award idea that I think you should definitely steal for us.
You know what else?
Yes.
Also, what else too? To back your point, like, I don't think people have realized just how good this Colts team is. Because I think, like, Daniel Jones, to many people, it's a punching bag. They are complete everywhere. And there's a metric that a lot of professional sports bettors use to determine if teams are good or not. And I don't know if I've ever brought this up to you, but net yards per play. You ever heard of that?
I haven't, but it would make sense to me. You'd probably want to be around 4 to 5 yards for if you're an elite team.
Yes, you're very, very close. It's a little bit higher. It's 5.5. I'm being an actually technically guy, but you were in the ballpark. But more so, net yards per play. What that means is how many yards do you gain? How many yards do you give up? They're number 1 in the league at 6.4 yards.
Damn.
So they're getting 6.4 yards per play net. And that's a good metric of like how good teams are. You know, I'll give you the top 5. Ready for this? Indianapolis, Seattle. This is a surprise one. Dallas Cowboys. That's how good their offense has been. And they just got number 88 back, CeeDee Lamb. Then you got the Buffalo Bills and you got the LA Rams next. Outside of Dallas, these are all really good teams.
Right.
Net yards per play. It's a very important metric to determine just how good a team is. And you're looking at it like Indianapolis 6-1, Seattle right now at the moment 4-2, looking like 5-2. Dallas, what are they? 3-1, I believe they are. Buffalo 4-2, and the Rams 5-2. Like, this is a big stat, that net yards per play. So something to keep in mind, because again, bro, I don't think a lot of people realize just how good this Colts team really is. And you fucking said it in the offseason, bro. You're like, dude, hot take on our hot take episode, which, you know, hot take episode was not as crazy as it seems.
It did. So when I'm putting that list together, I feel like an idiot. I'm like, there's no way in a star-studded AFC that I'm about to come in here and look at Nick in the face and go, the Colts are going to be the number 1 seed. I did it. I didn't bet it. I mean, it long shot, but I like where I have my money at him now with Daniel Jones, 70-1 to win MVP. I mean, I hate to wish injury upon anybody, but if JT goes down, like, I mean, it would present the case that he couldn't win it, because right now it'd be tough not to, bro. This is something we haven't seen before. Did it against the Chargers. LT holds a touchdown record. Like, this was y'all are put on notice game. By the way, how do you feel about the Chargers uniforms? I liked it. It made me, with the candy peelers?
Yeah.
Peelers? I bought banana peelers because I was watching the Chargers in those colors.
Yeah, like that's the kind of move you make if you know you're going to win. Because you're being trolled pretty bad now.
Yeah.
Like, it's like when the Giants would wear the color rush uniforms. They're like, bro, these are sick. But then when you get your shit punched thing, you're like, what are we doing?
Yeah, these aren't.
So, yo, real quick. Colts win total was 7.5 coming into the year. They are 2 games away from that. I would say it's a lock.
Yeah.
And no team in the NFL has had a higher shift in odds than them. 75-1 to win the Super Bowl to now 12-1. They are currently tied with the LA Rams and the Philadelphia Eagles to win the Super Bowl. Your favorites are the Chiefs, Bills, Packers, and Lions. Yeah, I mean, hey, man, they are balling out, and they deserve it because, the other thing, too, like, we got to figure out who the next quarterback that leaves a disgruntled franchise is going to be, because we've had it 3 years in a row. We had Baker in 23. We had Sam Darnold last year. Now we got Daniel Jones. Who's going to be the guy that everyone thinks is trash, leaves, goes to a new organization, and just fucking lights it up?
It's got to be Bryce Young.
By the way, Bryce Young and the Panthers, 4-3. 4-3. They're 1 game back of the division. He's not playing that bad ever since we said that. Panther fans, you're welcome. The reverse jinx in your favor.
Yeah.
He's been playing well. Now he is going to miss this week. Andy Dalton is going to be starting for him. But yeah, look, it could be, but we got to think of, like, maybe
somebody who's going to be traded this season. Kyler Murray fits this mold.
Kyler Murray could fit this mold. Yo, bro.
I think it's Kyler Murray, right?
Dude. That's a good one.
Wherever Kyler Murray goes next year, immediately bet them to win the division.
That's a really good one. Because I think if you're Arizona, you're like, yo, bro, it might be time to move on. It might be time to move on. You're always hurt. We just need to, cleaning house. GM got to go. Head coach got to go. You know who else could be another candidate? Tua.
Yes.
Speaking of the hot take episode, man, if it wasn't for Brian Callahan, you couldn't just cover the spread. Like, maybe the Titans owner is a degenerate piece of shit like we are, and he was betting. He's like, yeah, bro, you're 4-19 against the number? Like, you can't even cover? We're getting our shit punched in. Like, what the fuck is going on? And I think McDaniel, it's bad. It's gotten bad. Oh, guess what? Waddle's on the trade block. Everything I said on that hot take episode has come into fruition. He just hasn't been the first coach fired. But it's like, if I'm not mistaken, I think they have a tough game this week, and it could be as soon as this week. Oh my God, we're back! You know who they play this week?
The Bills.
They play the Falcons.
Oh, wow.
Bijan Robinson should have 9,000 yards and 127 touchdowns. I need 7 touchdowns. That's what I need. Oh, my God. They play Atlanta. We're back. And by the way, staying with Atlanta, I figured them out. If they play indoors, we bet on them. If they play outdoors, we don't bet on them. Because Michael Penix Jr. looked like if I was throwing lefty. And he's a lefty.
Yeah.
It looks pretty bad. I told you, bro, I don't like left-handed quarterbacks.
I get it. I just don't understand why he doesn't let it loose earlier on. Like it just seems like he was trying to be a check down Charlie a little bit in the game yesterday. And I think he plays his best when he's pushing the ball vertically downfield. Drake London on that Monday Night Football game versus the Bills, dare I say, was the reason why Bijan was able to get as unlocked as he was. And for some teams, Nick, it works in reverse, right? I brought up with the Packers, you better get it going with Josh Jacobs early, so then that way it makes it easier on Jordan Love. With the Falcons, you got to get Michael Penix going so that way they respect him and they're not loading the box, which every team does. If you look back at the game Sunday night, the 49ers, only way to stop them was when Bijan Robinson was in the backfield. As soon as they sent him on a couple little motions, they put him out wide, they had no fucking answer. So that's something to monitor when you watch these Falcons games. Get the passing game going early, make them think that, oh man, Drake London's going to kill us. And then Bijan Robinson obviously is your best player. He can like Bijan can get going whenever. You have to get the other guys their touches and make them feel excited so that way you're not putting Michael Penix in a shit situation where, he's having to pull you out of, a deficit.
Yeah, it was Drake London. Like, that's the thing too, man. That game was at home, bro. The Minnesota game, not at home, but indoors. Like, if they play indoors, I like them. I like them a lot. This Miami game he's going to be indoors. He should be minus 400 to score a touchdown in this game. Like, he has to have the Jahmyr Gibbs game. Now, he just needs to do what he did against Buffalo.
Yeah.
And then we'll be back into the swing of things. Can I give you a very stupid proposition?
Hit me with it.
What if I told you there's this one team whose odds to both make the playoffs and to win the Super Bowl have grabbed my attention, and to win their like everything? It's just all it's caught my attention.
Hit me with it.
I'll give you a hint. They have 3 wins.
You gonna say the Cowboys?
Nope.
The Bengals?
Yep.
They looked crazy good with Joe Flacco. I'm glad we're getting a chance to talk about the Thursday night game.
By the way, Discord and Patreon, baby, we gave you guys Chase, Higgins, and the money line.
It was good. People were fired up.
People were
in the Discord.
Yeah, they were good. Yeah, it was a 13-1. 13-1 hit. If you wanted to, put a couple of condoms on and you took the 5.5, that was also 9-1. So, it's cool. Hey, listen, safe sex is also great. It's not a headache knowing that I haven't gotten anyone pregnant yet. That makes me feel very, very happy, especially with some of these thoughts that be running around in Vegas.
Just looking to steal your babies, bro.
Yeah, they just want half.
Just crawling around here.
They just want half. But, yo, check this out. They are currently sitting at a lovely record of 3-4. They are also, ready for this? Second in their division. Man, they just beat the Steelers. Look at their schedule. They play the Jets at home. Then they play the Bengals at home. Then they go to Pittsburgh. Then they play home to the Patriots. Then they got at the Ravens. And then Burrow is back to close out the year against at Bills, home Ravens, at Miami, home Cardinals, home Browns. They're ending the year 3 of 4 games at home. And the one road game, Miami, who might have Zach Wilson starting at quarterback and McDaniel fired by then. And that Bills game, hold on, that Bills game,
Sunday Night Football.
Bills game, yeah. That Bills game, by the way, Burrow might be back for it.
Oh, yeah.
What I'm saying is this. I'm looking at these odds for the Bengals. They're a plus 300 to make the playoffs. They're 80-1 to win the conference. They're 225-1 to win the Super Bowl. I don't think their defense has been playing bad. They're getting these crazy score lines because the offense couldn't move the ball. Flacco comes in. Bro, I read you the schedule. It ain't that crazy. They're 3-4. They're going to be above 500 by the time they play that Steelers game at Pittsburgh. Right? Dude, weather the storm and then Burrow comes back.
This is the team in the North to choose. We can't go with the Ravens anymore.
We can't go with the Ravens. We got to go. We got to go with Cincinnati. Bro, I tell you this. There's always a team that is like below 500. There's a 2-4, 2-5 team that's going to get hot. You know, the Ravens are 7-point favorites at 1-5, playing a team on a 4-game winning streak this week in Chicago because it's a fucking kitchen sink Lamar Jackson coming back. We got no choice but to win. Man, I'm looking at this schedule, bro, and you know you're not going to want to play Joe Burrow in the playoffs. Turner, that DB that just fucking took that interception from DK Metcalf. Man, I'm telling you, dude, I want to fire on this, bro.
This is a week.
Yeah.
Because if not, after these next 2 weeks, it's going to become very obvious to people.
Because you got to think
there's a chance. Because, I mean, it should have already been obvious when they did make the move. Now, we just don't feel that way about Joe Flacco, or at least I didn't. When the trade happened, I thought it was very laughable. But they understood what the assignment was, get somebody in division to beat the only team that is currently the favorite to win the division and make a run with Flacco.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro, this is...
I don't like the Super Bowl play, but I definitely like...
All right, so let's do this.
300, and then if you want to get crazy to win the AFC.
So let me paint the picture for you, right? You make this bet now. For them to do this, they have to win their division. They host a playoff game at home. And you're holding 80-1. Bro. After all we've been through, if you're a Bengals fan.
I'm pulling out the phone.
Pulling
it out.
Listen, you know what we do? We do a reverse ladder. We go 100, and I'll make this bet for us this week, and we'll go halves on it. And we'll throw this in this clip. What we're going to do is this. We're going to put 200 on them to make the playoffs, to get back 600. We're going to put 150 on them to win the conference. Do you know what that pays? 80-1.
Oh shit, 80-1 at 150.
Yeah, let's see if you're
like
good at
10
math.
10 G's. Close.
Kind of.
Well, tell me.
Well, my computer just auto refreshed.
Damn, dude.
Fantastic.
Let's see how good you are at math. I need a computer over here.
Hold on, where is it? Right here. Okay, 150. 12K. Nice. Nice off season. And then we put 150 on them to win the Super Bowl, $33,000. You got to think of it like this. You got to think of it, come January, if they're in the playoffs, what are their numbers? And they're going to be on a 4-game winning streak going into that shit. Oh, Burrow's back.
The smile on your face right now is selling it for me.
Yo, bro,
it
listen,
is.
You gotta,
I like the case.
You gotta have fun. You get on board. Listen, I'm wearing orange. I just think we have to do it. Because he's coming back. And Flacco said it himself. He's like, yo, I got there on Wednesday. We left Friday to go to Green Bay. And guess what? We covered the spread also. I didn't get comfortable until the second half. Now I have extra time. Now I got the Jets and the Bears in my next 2 fucking games. And guess what? They're both at home. Oh, and I got to go into Pittsburgh? I've been in Pittsburgh before. I ain't afraid of Pittsburgh. And guess what? You know what else I have at my disposal? Which was hilarious. I got to tell people what you text me. You're like, dude, Jamar Chase is the best wide receiver that Joe Flacco's ever played with. And I was like, George, Jamar Chase is going to be the best wide receiver a lot of quarterbacks I've ever played with. And you were like, you know what, man?
Fair.
Touche, sir.
That was
Touche,
a good one.
Yeah. And he got 2 $30, $40 million wide receivers. I love it. I'm getting more and more excited. I had in my notes, full disclosure, as we were coming in to record, I was like, try to convince George about the Bengals. And I'm getting more and more excited about it. Because I did tell you about the AFC North.
Yes.
I told you, I don't think it's going to be Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh's schedule over the next couple of weeks. Holy fuck. Their schedule, starting with this week. You know who they play this week? Packers. Then they play the Colts. Then they play at the Chargers. Then they play home to the Bengals. Then they play at Chicago. Then they got Buffalo coming into town. They have a game at the Lions. Like, their schedule is getting a lot tougher, where Cincinnati's schedule, it's kind of mid. And then it gets so much easier once Burrow comes back. I think we have to do this.
Okay.
We have to.
This week.
Yeah.
I'm putting it in after the show.
Yeah.
You've convinced me.
I have the ladder right here.
You've convinced me.
The ladder is right here. And you know what their division odds are too, by the way? The division odds are plus 400. So if you want to get crazy, we take the division odds. But I just think to make the playoffs. I see on their schedule, I think they could get to 10 wins. And if you could get to 10 wins, I think you are live. Imagine if Bo Nix got to go into Cincinnati. What? Give me that. Give me that. Oh, bro. That's how we're going to end. I don't even want to continue the show. I gave out my Monday winner. What's your Monday winner? My Monday winner is 225 to 1 to bet the Bengals for the bowl.
That's great. Monday winner, I'm the Baker Whisperer. Buccaneers minus 5.5 going into New Orleans. After the unraveling of the Saints, no matter what the receiving core looks like, take the Bucs minus 5.5. That's it. You ready for talk some hoops, bro?
We're gonna talk some hoops with CJ Watson. But before we do that, shout out to the following people. Shout out to Big Will. Shout out to Anthony Plesia. Shout out to Art Arquillian. Probably fucked that up. Alejandro Garcia, Marvin Escobar, Victor Madrigal, and shout out to Chirac. I don't know if you're trolling, but shout out to you. All the new members of the Patreon. $1 a month, that's all we're asking for. Patreon.com/Veterans Minimum. We're giving out awesome plays on there. The show does not get funded by us selling our picks. If you just listen to the show twice a week. Really cool message I got from Mark. Shout out to Mark in the Discord. Big fan of the show. He's been a lifelong fan of Veterans Minimum. He follows all our futures. He'll probably be on this Bengals future also. He's a big 49ers fan. But he says something where he looked at the picks that we gave out on the Discord on the Patreon. He's like, hey, man, I was really busy. Life got on the way last week. I couldn't listen to the show. Thanks for the picks. That's what the picks are. If you listen to the show, it's on there. But sometimes people, life gets in the way. It happens to me too. Some of my favorite podcasts over the last couple of weeks I haven't been able to listen to because just life gets in the way. But it's cool. You just go there. We're doing a nice giveaway for the month of November. We're just trying to finalize some of the pieces. And I want it to be on display here in the studio so you guys can see. We're going to give away 2 VM helmets. 2 VM helmets, custom made. I'm getting one for George and one for myself, and then we're going to give 2 away to members of the Discord. And yeah, man, it's $1. It goes a long way to building out the show. We are over, we're doing, it's been a big move to go to the $1. A lot of people are doing it too.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have been doing it.
All it takes is just $1, people.
Yeah, $1.
We greatly appreciate it. The community is growing. A lot of people are posting their parlays and picks, which I always like. Some of the things that the people are putting in the Discord, I'm like, do I tail this? I mean, like,
dude, hold on. Last thing, real quick.
Tons of solid plays,
bro. I'm glad that you mentioned that because I know both of us didn't bet it, but someone bet our Monday winners from last week, and it hit. And
it was Jordan, right?
I definitely it was Cherry 2121. Monday winner parlay was plus 243. Looking sweet. Thank you. And it was the Panthers money line that I said the Jets should not be favored over anyone. And then it was New England -7. So shout out to Cherry. Yeah, people are putting their picks in there too, man. Like, it's all good. As long as you guys are a part of the community, let's keep doing this shit. And sometimes, like, my favorite is when someone puts an anytime touchdown parlay together. And I'm like, yo, good shit. And they're like, yeah, it was your picks. And I was like, why the fuck didn't I put that combination together? Like, what is going on over here? But hey, man, if you guys are winning, then we're winning. So shout out to all of you. Next up, George, we got former NBA player CJ Watson to talk NBA futures. So yeah, man, $1 a month. That's all we're asking for. Patreon.com/Veterans Minimum. George, I'm excited. NBA is here. We have to tap in with best player to come out of Las Vegas.
Of course.
I mean, we're gonna be biased and say yeah.
I mean,
but also
yeah,
he
has to be.
You have to be. CJ Watson.
Do you feel that way?
I do feel that way, but I don't want to start any drama.
Nah, man, you got it, bro. You got it. Hey, CJ, you're the man. Thanks for pulling up again. Full disclosure, anytime I hit up CJ, he's like, yo, I'll either say yes, or if I can't make it this day, I can make it the next day. So I really appreciate that, bro.
No,
I know how busy
y'all
you
having
are.
me on, man.
I'm excited, dude. I'm cautiously optimistic, as you can see the orange that I'm wearing. I'm a Knicks fan. I feel like we should start there. You know, we got CJ on for NBA futures. Last year, I had the Thunder to win it all at 11-1. I did a round robin. For those that don't know what a round robin is, I basically picked the Thunder and the Wolves to play either the Celtics or the Knicks. Right, like that was my round robin, and no one saw the Pacers happening. So I got something in mind for that too, if we want to gamble, but. CJ, I got to start with New York, man. Very biased. I think this is the year, and expectations are so high. But, bro, am I crazy to think, like, I don't want to say title or bust, but at least the finals with how weak the East is, the injuries. They brought everyone back. New head coach change with Mike Brown coming in, but he got experience. He's not some random guy off the bench. Talk me out of this, or back it, which would be great too. How you feeling about the Knicks?
I like the Knicks. I like that pick this year, definitely because, like you said, the East is super weak this year. A lot of injuries, a lot of unknowns with a lot of teams coming back. So, like you said, this is the year that they get to the finals and eventually win it. This is the year right here because I'm not a big fan of the Knicks. I don't trust the Knicks. I don't trust Cat down the stretch. But I do like Mike Brown. I like the Jordan Clarkson addition. I like a little pieces that they added. So, I mean, if this is the year to do it, this has to be the year.
Nah, I mean, look, you know, with Towns, I'd say of all the players on the Knicks, probably the most him and Bridges are the most polarizing.
Yeah.
But Towns, like a lot of people forget, dude, they made that trade like 10 days before the season started. So now you have a full year with them and you get all the way to the conference finals. We were talking about it and, you know, we mentioned it before. I'm a huge Giants fan also, and how the Giants lost to Denver over the weekend reminded me of how the Pacers beat the Knicks in game 1. Like when I saw that game, bro, and what was his name? I'm blanking on the dude that hit all the threes.
Nembhard?
No, not Nembhard.
Oh, Naismith.
Naismith.
Yes.
He went
got hot.
7 for 7.
Yeah.
When that was happening, and then Halliburton hits that shot, even though it was game 1, and everyone's like, you know, it's still a series. I was like, bro, the inevitable is gonna happen. I just felt that way with the Giants yesterday. Yeah. Like I feel like their season's over. But even with the Knicks, like they went all the way to the conference finals against the Pacers like that. And then this year, to his point, they bring everyone back. I like Yabusele being signed. Towns up and down, like I was saying. They got Brunson, who like, bro, in New York, like this dude could get away with mass murder.
Anything, right?
Defend him over there. And just the pieces that they have, and I feel like it's another year. Like it's the growing pains, but the expectations are crazy high. Like anything less than a finals appearance. I'm not even saying for them to win it, because whoever they would play in the West, I feel like they'd be a big underdog too.
Yeah.
But you gotta at least get there, bro.
Yeah, I think if they would have kept Tibbs, I would be even more high on them. But with the new coach, I think and I love Mike Brown, but just with a new coach, a new system, all these new players, new pieces you got to add together, I think just having Tibbs would have been like the icing on the cake for me to pick him for sure. But this year, like adding a new coaches take a little time just to, you know, put their systems in, get their culture onto the franchise. So that's my only reason of not picking him to win it this year, just because of the new coach.
Are we going to see a deeper rotation than 7?
I would hope so.
Yeah, I mean, that's just about anything that Knicks fans are looking for. And Mike Brown. Did you ever get the chance to play with him or play for him?
Coached against him, but never played for him. So I always loved him. I did like summer clinics here in Vegas, the Girls camp here when he always used to run the camp. So I love his energy and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, he's one of the elite coaches when you see like his like path and career. Like he definitely has a championship caliber. It's looking good for the Knicks. The East is just like you were saying. It's such a flip of a coin. That's the main storyline that I think everybody's going to be paying attention to.
Yeah. And
for the first 15 games at least.
Nah, for sure. And I think even longer than that. It's just because like Halliburton out, Tatum out, Lillard got traded. He was going to be out anyway. He's back in Portland. You're looking at it like there's a couple of odds that I like. Like to me, just the idea that I got the best player in the conference if you're Giannis.
Yeah.
Bucks are 30-1 to win the East. Like to me, it's like, bro, you have him, you have a chance.
Yeah.
And back to the thing with Mike Brown though, one of my favorite moments on the pod, bro, was when he debunked my whole Miami flu thing. Because like for years I was running that with that shit, and you were like, I don't know, man. I got back to the hotel late one day, and then I had a career high, and I was like, well, there goes fucking 7 years of content that I've been disputing. How long does it take though? On a serious note, you were talking about the systems, like. Is it 30 games? Is it 60 games? Are we not going to see it until March? Like, what's the timetable from your experience?
I think maybe like, All-Star break maybe.
Really? That long?
I think so, yeah, because you want to get your starters in sync. You want to get your bench players in sync with how many minutes they're going to play each and every night. And then everyone has to buy in. When your players don't buy in, it takes a while to buy in. That kind of proceeds the drafts part of it. So I definitely think it's kind of like a halfway midpoint to the season to where everyone is bought in. Everyone knows their tendencies, weaknesses, strengths, and stuff like that to put it all together.
Now, you correct me if I'm wrong. You said that there was someone else you liked out the East besides the Knicks?
No, not out the East.
Oh, not out the East.
Yeah.
You're saying just for them to win it.
Just for them to win it, yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing, man. Like, there's so much pressure now because if they don't get to the finals, I'm gonna be severely disappointed.
And that payroll is high too. They gotta win.
yeah, and also like Brunson took one pay cut. He's not gonna want to take another pay cut.
Right.
Also, I wouldn't take another pay cut. Like I did y'all the favor one time.
Right. That's all you get.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I left 110 million on the table.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that shit.
Yeah.
But then again, to each their own. You know how I am. I'm taking the money.
Right.
Let me figure out everything else after, because then your shelf life as an athlete it comes and goes. So I'm not leaving that kind of money. 10, 20 if I'm making 200 plus million, but 110 is
that's a lot of money left on the table. And in New York, when the state tax is super high.
Bro, yeah, you ain't kidding. So who else in the East do you like? Like, is there a team that you think might kind of sneak up on people or people are just not talking about?
I want to see how Embiid and PG come back, and if they're healthy enough to play together with Maxey. I think that's a dominant big three in the East. So I'm interested to see how they kind of mesh together and play well together, if they play well at all.
I can't get behind that, bro.
Yeah, that's the only storyline that I can see out of.
I mean, that's such a hot take that I almost want to like tail that as a long shot, CJ, so that way we could ride it out this entire season, because nobody's high on the 76ers.
Yeah, nobody. Yeah,
everybody's over the. I mean, the process is non-existent at this point. It's just been like driven into the ground. Like, what is the new wave? It has to be that Maxey is your engine, and that everybody falls in line with him.
Yeah.
Or do you think this should still be a team that's centered around Embiid?
I mean, you got to put it around Maxey. He's the future of the team, but Embiid is still a big piece. He's still one of the best centers in the league when he's healthy, and PG is one of those guys too. So when they're all healthy, they're tough to beat on paper. Just how can they put it all together, and with the system that Nick Nurse can put together?
Right.
Bro, I just think it's the health, man. Like, I remember last year, their win total was like 46.5, and both those guys were questionable coming into the year. And I'm like, yo, if your whole opinion on this team depends on them two being healthy, like, they've kind of been a punching bag the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And I like both of them, but your best ability is availability.
Yep.
And then they came into the year either hobbled and injured, and you're like, bro, if you're ready, it was like the 49ers last year.
Yep.
It was like, bro,
you saw the writing on the wall.
You saw the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
Their first round pick got shot.
Right, yeah.
Like, bro, guys left and right injured. Brandon Ayuk by week 3 tore his ACL. It's like, man, they were just snake bit and red flags. And that's how I felt about the 76ers last year. And it's kind of like, you got to prove me wrong. It's the same thing. Like, whose roster I really like? I really like the Clippers.
Yeah, me too.
But then come playoff time, it's like, what was the thing? He shoots tour dates. Yeah. James Harden, it's like 4 for 23. And you're like, damn, bro, he just has so many of these.
Yeah.
And then how often are they going to be available? Like Kawhi and those guys too.
Yeah.
So
and their age and all that kind of stuff plays a part.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing why I can't get behind the 76ers. I thought you were going to maybe say, I like Orlando.
No, that's my sleeper team, but I don't
Really?
think I think they maybe get to the second round. Maybe I think they made some good signings in the offseason. Like Bane, I love Bane's game.
Yeah.
He's gonna be a big piece for them. That's something they didn't have last year. Another shooter, another scorer. So they're young and talented. I think their time is like another year or two maybe.
Paulo MVP candidate? Question mark?
It's too soon. I think another year.
Okay, so like, yo, the moment they signed Bane, right? I looked at his odds, and every time I like pull up the betting odds, we do this all the time. Sometimes we'll be talking about a player, and most famously it was like Puka Nacua his rookie year.
Yeah.
We were talking about Puka, and like he was on pace to break all these rookie records. And I was just like, as George was talking, I pull up and his odds, he was like 35-1 to win rookie of the year with 3 games left. And CJ had just got concussed, CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
And I'm like, time the fuck out. Like these odds are crazy. And it ended up coming down to a pick 'em. CJ won the award, but like that was just such a good read because from 35-1 for it to be a pick 'em. I did the same thing with Paolo, and Paolo, that playoff series against the Celtics, he was balling out. Last year the Magic were playing really well, and then Wagner got hurt, and then he got hurt. So like those guys together, and then Jalen Suggs was out for the year. He got banged up too. I always try to find like, I like being a year early on teams.
Yeah.
Like a couple of years ago, the first year that the Thunder were the 1 seed, I bet them to be a top 3 seed. There was a prop, and they were like 3-1. I was like, man, these young teams, they tend to care more about the regular season. Would you agree with that? Is that something that
for sure? Because they're hungry. They're trying to make a name for themselves. They're probably trying to get that first contract too. So all that stuff plays a part, and they want to get respected by the OGs in the game, the Kevin Durant's, the James Hardens, all these guys who they've seen or become superstars in the league. They want to go against them. That's why Anthony Edwards gets up for those big games against KD, because that's his idol, and he wants to play well against him and get that respect. So I definitely agree with it and see it a lot.
Yeah, because like the Magic, they're 50.5. It's the highest win total they've had since like Rashard Lewis and Dwight Howard, like going all the way.
Hito Turkoglu.
Yeah, going all the way back there. And yeah, like Paolo, he's 100-1 to win MVP. I just think he's been in the league now for what is it, 4? This is year 5. He's about to be. He just got paid, so he kind of got to prove it too. And he's still super young, man. He's gonna be 23, like at some point during the season.
Yeah.
And he was one guy that I looked at. I'm like, man, as like a long shot, I kind of like Paolo.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think his game is definitely blossoming, and he's getting better and better. And I want to see like his defensive mindset, like maybe this year, see if that kind of clicks on trying to be a 2-way player. I think that's how you kind of propel yourself into that MVP talk, especially when you're so young and have such a bright future ahead of you. I think once he tries to do that, I think he'll definitely be in it for sure.
Yeah, and then also the other thing with me, like I don't like betting the favorite. Like SGA plus 180, Jokic plus 200, and then it's going to be a catastrophe for the sports books if Luka wins MVP. Like, everybody's like, skinny Luka. And, LeBron's going to be out for a little bit of time. So maybe like early on in the season, everything is on him.
Yeah.
How you feel about the Lakers? Because obviously they're such a big brand. Like they're a very polarizing team. I think that you got to pay a tax with them.
Yeah.
Like their odds should not be what they are. They should be a team that's like 35-1.
Yeah.
But they're 20-1 because it's the LA Lakers.
For sure, yeah. I mean, I see them probably maybe in the playing game, especially depending on how LeBron's health comes around, and maybe if he decides to maybe say this is his last year or whatever, or come up with another ad or something like that. So I don't know, but I definitely like to see Luka get in shape and be kind of focused on the season and not worry about the other stuff. But I think just being around different players like LeBron kind of changed his mindset, and he saw how LeBron took it serious and focused on the game. So maybe it'll change his mindset too.
Yeah, he's built for Los Angeles. Like I don't know if you listened to the Mind the Game podcast with LeBron and Steve Nash. That he had Luka was on for an episode, and he's just so classic. You know what I mean? Like he's so laid back. It was the first time he's ever seen the beach, and he's like, "I come to Los Angeles and I see beach and I go beach."
Yeah,
like just like that. And I'm like, "Oh, this is heaven for him." You know what I mean? Like a kid coming from where he came from to be in the land of stars. Like this is definitely his moment. He's going to pop off in a big way. And I think LeBron is going to have a better season than we think. You know, like if this is really it, like he's gonna go balls to the walls.
Yeah, I would hope so. I mean, he's Luka's a top 5 player every year, and like you said, he's definitely built for LA. And then if they build that team around him, he's he's seen what he did in Dallas with not a lot of help. But they put some pieces around him. He can really make that team and that brand grow even bigger.
Right. I think it's just it'll be a faster style offense this year, I believe.
Yeah. From
the Lakers. Like I feel like everything in Luka's career has been very controlled and slowed at his pace, and I think this year is going to be like JJ Redick's making them run and gun a little bit more. That's just the way I feel you have to play to keep up with these teams,
especially in the West. The West is so tough. I mean, top to bottom, you can easily be in the playoffs or out of the playoffs.
Do you feel that stylistically going into this year that like the East is going to thrive on being a little more, defensive focused, where in the West it's going to be race to 130?
I think that's how it always has been. The East Coast teams are more methodical, like, back in the 90s, take a good shot, pound it in the paint. But now I think with all the ball movement now, everyone's trying to run and gun, but also play a little bit of defense.
Right.
So I think, whoever scores the most points, I think, and plays a little bit of defense, get a couple stops in a row, will obviously be a winner at the end.
How do you feel about the Thunder? Because we haven't had a repeat champion in a very long time.
Yeah.
They're the heavy favorite. They're a 2-1 favorite. I feel like I've said this the last 3 years. Like Denver has the best chance to repeat, and then the Celtics have the best chance to repeat. But to your point, they could score, beat you in so many different ways, and they could defend.
Yeah.
And there's no drop off when they bring in the Carusos off the bench,
right,
and Hartenstein.
Yeah.
They're so methodical, and they could just. I like teams that are versatile.
Yeah.
Right, that was the big problem with the Knicks. It's like, damn, if Brunson's not on the court, it's a wrap. And then he's playing 48 minutes straight. How you feel about the Thunder? Do you think this is something like the beginning of a dynasty, or what are your thoughts?
I think if this is the year that they can go back, a team can go back to back, is this year, because they're bringing basically everyone back, and they got youth on their side. I think that's the biggest thing with having winning some back to back. You got to have a lot of luck on your side. I think Boston was my favorite to win it last year, without the injuries. So I definitely think this is their year. And Shea is, to me, like a young Kobe. He's unguardable. He gets to his spots, and like you said, the bench is great. They got shooters around. Chet is only going to get better. Jalen Williams is only going to get better. So I mean, the sky is the limit for them.
Yeah, it's crazy that SGA is the old head on the team.
Yeah,
he's 27.
Yeah.
It's bro,
they got another good 3 or 4 year run in him.
Yeah. It's wild, man. I just started watching the Starting Five on Netflix. You happen to catch that at all?
No.
Starting Five. I like this new season better than the one before.
Yeah.
And SGA is a huge feature in it. And he was just saying he was getting his hair done before one of the games, and he was like, man, I remember coming into the league, if I got 30, I was excited. Now when I get 30, it's a bad night. And then I was just thinking about, from a betting perspective, this dude's, point totals got up to, 35.5. He was getting 38, 39. He was going crazy.
Yeah.
And, to your point, man, it's so hard to – my favorite bet, it's super chalk, but sometimes when you play, finals matchups, Thunder Knicks is 12-1. So $100 wins you $1,200. I like that one the most. The other team that I think could be interesting, there's also this other trend we talk about all the time, how if you just look at the top 6 favorites, that's where your champion has been 22 of the last 25.
Yeah.
You had the Pistons in 2004, you had that Mavericks team, and then you had the Raptors. And even them, they were the 8th. Right. This idea of you picking a team, for example, off the top, the Portland Trailblazers, who are 90-1. It's bro, that shit ain't happening.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get a team like the Memphis Grizzlies at 80-1. Your champion's gonna be from Thunder, Cavs, Nuggets, Knicks, Rockets, and then you have both LA teams together. And then following that is Minnesota. But you're looking at from Knicks to Minnesota, it's a $2 difference. So it's everyone's bunched together.
Yeah.
Would you take one of those teams or the field?
Top 6?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking the top 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Denver. I like Houston. I think Denver got better. Their bench was the issue last year when Jokic went off the court. They had no scoring, but I think they kind of shored that up now. And I love Houston. Adding KD is that's like a no-brainer. With that young talent, I mean, this is the time for them to win too. It's like the next year or so.
You're not worried about the Van Vliet injury? I feel like that one came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
Like,
it was tough. Yeah, but I like Amen Thompson. I like Reed Shepherd. I think for them now is they got to step up, and being around KD that will hopefully help them, and being around a championship mindset, championship players, and an OG. I mean, he's like one of the best players ever in the game. I mean, why would you not want to listen to him and take his advice and all that kind of stuff? So I think adding him in that mindset of the coach to that team, it just kind of puts Houston in like top 3 in my eyes.
I love KD at 70-1 to win MVP. Does it have a legitimate chance?
I might, if he can stay healthy too. That's the whole thing.
He's played the requirement for the past 2 seasons.
Yeah.
This is like the first time he's on what I would consider a legitimate contender. I didn't necessarily feel the teams that he had out in Phoenix were title contenders, but I do feel like this Rockets team has the pieces. At 70-1 right now on like I'm 37. People aren't adding me in the conversation like how they did 7 years ago. That's pissing me off. I would love to see this and be a part of the KD revenge story. I like Houston to go all the way to the finals, 10-1 right now to win the West.
Yes, I mean that's not a bad bet.
Yeah,
I got a better one for you if you feel that way.
I'm feeling froggy with the Rockets.
Durant to be Finals MVP. Some sports books you can make that bet now. He's 40-1. You figure they get to the finals.
He's for sure MVP.
I double it up. Yeah,
I think you just get better odds there, right? Like the one bet
True.
that I was looking at, the Knicks. The Knicks are 8-1 to win the championship, and then Brunson's 20-1 to be Finals MVP. I just feel like it's like a correlated bet.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like
for sure. Yeah,
you're not gonna get the no disrespect to Iguodala, but like one of the most controversial ones. And apparently like there was so that was the first year that the Warriors won the title, and there was like a big like conspiracy in the betting community because he was like 200-1 to win it.
Yeah.
And apparently like all the sports books would have got like their shit punched in if Curry would have won MVP.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are like, bro, they did that on purpose. They really got the call because they're like, how the fuck? That was my favorite argument against it because it'd be like, yo, he contained LeBron, and then LeBron had like 34, 8, and 9, and you're like, did he?
I mean, he did play good though.
Nah, he did. Yeah.
Defensively and offensively, he hit some big time threes. Like
yeah.
I don't know who votes on the MVP. Is it the team? Is it the writers?
It's the writers, and like in New York State, you can't bet voted on awards.
Yeah.
So like when I lived in New York, I'd dead ass drive to New Jersey, get the location services on my phone, and then I'd be like, all right, I gotta bet my Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
Because you just couldn't. Like there's just a couple of rules and regulations in certain places. In Nevada, it's a shit show. You can bet on whatever you want. But in New York, because of that reason, it's like, bro, I don't know if. Imagine if George had a vote for NBA MVP.
Yeah, you got the insider take.
And like, yo, bro, you better vote for Durant. They got 50-1.
Yeah.
Here's an envelope.
Right.
It's super illegal, but I wouldn't put it past some people, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why like it's voted on by your reporters and beat writers. The thing with Houston, he's become, I think, my favorite player in the league to watch is Amen Thompson. He's 20-1 to be Defensive Player of the Year. And I told you before, I don't like betting on the favorite. Wemby's minus 250, so $250 to win you 100. I don't like that shit.
Yeah.
Remember, for this too, CJ, like you gotta pay this money up front like tomorrow.
Yeah.
You're gonna get paid out in Memorial Day weekend in May when they announce the winners.
Yeah.
You don't want to put up $250 for $100.
$100,
You want to put up $100 to win $2K and like make it a long-term investment.
Right.
And you know how I feel about futures. I love futures, but this dude, man, year 3, he was on the all-rookie team, all-defensive team last year. I think since the Rockets are going to be in a lot of primetime games, they're going to be in spotlight games, they're going to be a top 3 seed projected. How you feel about him? Do you think he could take the next step, or am I punting my money, not taking Wemby?
No, I think so. I definitely think since Van Vliet is hurt, he's going to get a lot more time, especially at the point guard spot. Another one I would throw in there, I don't know what his odds are, but Dyson Daniels. He led the league in steals. I love his game as, like I said, I like him as Defensive Player of the Year. I don't remember the last time a guard won it was probably like Marcus Smart, I think.
Yeah.
So I think a guard is going to win it this year.
Yo, 30-1.
I like this.
Yeah.
76ers.
I mean, bro, this is why he's here. He fucking played in the league. If he's telling us a name, we got to bet on this.
Hey, don't take my word for it. I'm just saying.
No.
Of course not.
Definitely gonna consider it.
I don't want you to bet and call me in May and talking about, hey, man, I lost. I need my money.
With a Venmo request.
Right.
Like, yo, pay up.
That's hilarious.
Nah, but yo, with the Hawks, they're an interesting team too, man. Like I was looking at their win total. Their win total is 48.5. And at first it jumped out to me, and then you look like they got Porzingis, Trae Young. Year after year, his assists are going up, so he's becoming more of a facilitator. They had a really young core last year. I went to the play-in game, not the play-in, the NBA Cup game, and Dyson Daniels was a motherfucker on a lot of people, bro. So I like that pick too. Wemby is such a big favorite, and then Amen Thompson is 20-1, and then in between that is Chet at 8-1. So like Wemby has been. His odds for MVP were 50-1, and then it got down to 20, and then Melo went on his podcast and said that's his MVP pick, and now he's 8-1. Like no one's odds has shifted as much as Wemby's, and then the guy that's taken the most money has been Luka, like we said before. You said something about Paolo before, like it's a year too early. Do you feel like it's that way from Wemby, or
No, I think this is Wemby's like time. I think in that year 3 to 4, the game starts slowing down for you. You can feel like where you can score easier at, get your points at, and I think that offense is basically catered around him. So I definitely think he's gonna blossom this year. Whenever you go train with monks, then your next year's gotta be great.
Yeah, that was a sight to see, bro. How did they find the cloth?
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean?
They found a bed big enough over there.
No, it's insane. I'm a big fan of the rookie they picked up, Dylan Harper. He's at 13-1 to win Rookie of the Year. The amount of highlights that this point guard's going to have tossing the ball up to Wemby on alley-oops, I think that on highlights alone, this is a good play for Rookie of the Year. I don't think they'll necessarily stack the decks. If Wemby goes off, they'll give him MVP, and they probably won't double up an award on the same team, but I like Dylan Harper.
Is he going to play a lot, though? I'm thinking like Fox and then Castle. Like, where is he really going to fit in? Is this going to be like a learning period until, one of those guys move on? Definitely.
No, I think that, situations will present themselves in which he could see more time than we think. The team's pretty high on him already in the preseason, so I think it's a good way to give Fox and the other guy, some rest and good rotation. But it's going to be centered around Wemby. And I just like pieces that are associated with really good players. And so, Spurs are going to be a fun team to watch this year.
Yo, so I don't know if maybe I'm looking too much into like the odds and the win totals, but, these sports books, they don't put out win totals because they care about your favorite team. They kind of tell you like what to expect. The thing that makes me hesitant about Wemby is there's 7 teams that got higher win totals than the Spurs. And for you to win MVP outside of that Russell Westbrook year when he had the triple-double, you got to be a top 3 seed. So like if you're making this bet on Wemby, you got to ask yourself, are they a top 3 seed? And if they are, then you make this bet at 12-1. If not, I don't think you can make that bet. And that's where like my hesitation is. Cause like, bro, when you watch him, everyone says, so it's like a recycled take, but he looked like a 2K player.
Seriously, yeah.
Like you just went in there, attributes up. What's the tallest you can make a guy? And like, this is what his fucking creation is. So, but everybody's on it. That scares me. And then you look at it, right? Thunder, Nuggets, Rockets, Timberwolves, Clippers, Lakers, Spurs. Those are all the teams that have higher win totals than them. So, do you think they could be a top 3 seed?
San Antonio?
Yeah.
No.
You can't.
Not in this day.
Yeah, you can't.
Not with all the teams in the West.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. Because like, it's gonna negate what you do if like an SGA they win 65 games again, and they're like, well, they had the same numbers and he's 18 wins better than you. That's the thing,
He has to have a crazy year for him to get MVP, like you said, the Russell Westbrook year where he was averaging a triple-double. Like
you got to get like a 10 blocks a game or some crazy shit for him to. or if they exceed expectations. You know, their win total is at 44.5, and they've been the most interesting one. I always try to monitor, like, when a team just goes crazy, like either the win total or the odds, or everybody's betting on them. It's always something to like that stands out. And the last one that stands out to me, at least, something about the Mavericks.
I like the Mavericks.
I like the Mavericks a lot, man. A lot. And I know they're not going to have Kyrie until maybe after the All-Star break, but that's kind of when I want them.
Yeah.
They could stay healthy. With Cooper Flag, everyone's high on them. You got Clay, corner 3 if you need one. Experience. You were talking about the championship pedigree. Yeah. Anthony Davis, Kyrie. Again, health is everything.
Yeah.
A little bit of an older roster, but then you got guys like PJ Washington, you got Lively, Gafford.
Yeah. And
it's a team that, like, I kind of feel like there's a chip on their shoulder, bro. Especially like Anthony Davis, like, you were the throw-in in the Luka trading. Sure, and you're like a top 10 guy if you're healthy.
Yeah.
How you feel about the Mavs?
I like the Mavs, man. I think the Mavs go as D'Angelo Russell goes, because that's the reason that they signed him, because, you know, Kyrie was hurt. So if he can be the player that he can be, and, you know, kind of be that scoring point guard, dishing point guard. But yeah, I love AD. I love the different pieces they have, 3 and D guys. So I definitely think they can kind of make a run for it. And they're like a sleeper team in the West, but the West is like super tough. So I was like, you got to really bring it in the West. You can't take any nights off.
Yeah, the West is just fucking banger after banger matchup. Is there anyone that we didn't talk about?
The Pistons. The Detroit Pistons.
I like the Pistons. They're young, yeah.
And they played physical as shit last year when it mattered most, and they just seem like a young team that just doesn't know their full potential yet. Mm-hmm. And if Cade steps into MVP candidate, which he was in the conversation last year for a good portion of it, the East is banged up enough to where I think that this Pistons team could make a run all the way to the finals. And so my bet for the NBA Finals was going to be Rockets, Pistons. You could parlay that right now at 111-1.
Sheesh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dang.
And I mean, you could really go with anybody in the East, but I really appreciated the physicality that team brought. It just seemed like a revitalized Pistons team, and Detroit's like due for a winner, bro. I mean, they see it with the Lions, they get excited, but to have both of their teams be competitive last year was unlike anything else. I really think it's one of the best sports towns to play in. So what are your thoughts on, or how was it like to play in Detroit?
When I played Detroit, they weren't that good, so it was like we're going to Detroit, we know we're gonna win. A couple teams. But yeah, I think, you know, they got the best in-game announcer for sure. I forgot his name, but he's super solid. But yeah, the city was just kind of dead when we went, because it was a little bit after the finals. So it was pretty much a sure shot that we were winning.
For sure. Now, if you were to go back, I'm sure things are different. Yeah. How do you feel about Cade Cunningham and the chance for him to lead these guys to the finals?
I like his game a lot. I think he reminds me of like a young Grant Hill a little bit. Just a better shooting, better 3-point shot, better playmaking skills a little bit, but definitely reminds me of Grant Hill. And I love the way he's approaching the game. Every year he's getting better and better, and the team's getting better and better with him too. So that just shows you that they believe in him and want to surround the team around him.
Part of the reason why I put that bet in too, by the way, was because I would love to see a brother versus brother NBA Finals. I think that would be pretty sick.
Yeah, probably the first one, right? Yeah,
good for storyline.
Yo, listen, bro. As a Knicks fan, like they definitely should have won that series. Like, I love what you said earlier in the show, and I've just been thinking about every team. Like, if they lost that series to the Knicks, strictly off being a young team and not knowing any better.
Right. Yeah, making stupid mistakes.
Yeah,
turnovers down the stretch.
Yeah, exactly, man. And I remember just saying, like, I can't believe, like, my buddies and I, we were talking like, yo, I can't believe I'd rather play the Bucks. Because it was like a debate. I'm like, yo, do the Knicks like kind of tank it to maybe get a lesser seed to play Milwaukee first? And you're like, damn, bro, you rather play Giannis than play the Pistons? And like the Pistons played them tough in the regular season too. Yeah, Detroit's going to be good. Last question for me, bro, and thanks again for your time. We could go on, and hopefully we have you on some more often during the basketball season. How much does the game change from from regular season to playoffs, and I know I'll probably ask you again when that time comes, but I think about the young teams. Like, is it because they care about Tuesday in like DC when like the vets might not, and then come playoff time, the vets are like, yo, this is where we really make our money? Like, what's the biggest difference?
I think the game just slows down. You see so many possessions. You see it all the time. People talk about it all the time. During the regular season, you see the scores super high. When playoff comes, they're lower because the game is shrunk. It's more of a half-court game. It's not a full-court game anymore, and your possessions matter, each and every possession. So can you get a good shot on each possession in the playoffs? And if you can, the better team is going to win because you're getting better shots, you're lessening your turnovers, and you're playing good defense.
Yeah, I love the unders every single time we're heading into playoff season. It's just fun. You got to put in the unders parlay. You're just cheering for that fucking defensive battle.
Oh man,
Old East.
No one likes betting unders because that means you're hoping for bad performances,
right?
And like you want like an ugly ass game, like. But again, a lot of professionals, they like betting unders. My favorite thing to do is like when a guy has a career night.
Yeah, the next night.
Unders the next one, because like the numbers jump. So say a guy got like his point total usually day in day out every single game it's 20.
Yeah.
Pops off for 38.
Right.
Next game, it might go up to 26 and a half. I always take the under on that.
Oh, yeah, for
it's
sure.
It's one of those, like, we call it situational betting. It's like, man, I don't care who the player is. Like, I gotta take the under.
Yeah.
Now, I'd say like 7 out of 10 times it goes under. Now, is there a guy that just like, he's on a 9-game streak of 35? Like, yeah, that happens. At that point, you're like, all right, maybe if it's an all NBA guy, kind of like tamper expectations. But when it's like the guy that has never done it before and then they do, it's like, ooh, kind of got to take the under.
Yeah. I remember one game I was playing with the Bulls. Derrick Rose was out. I had not my career high, but I had 35, and we lost by 1. The next night, I played like 9 minutes.
Damn.
He came back.
Oh, he came back. That's right.
It was just funny, but probably didn't have 35. I didn't even get close to that many shots as I did the night before, but it's always fun.
Bro, I'll never forget when one of the first times that we had you on the show, like I said, that Miami flu story, when you said that like your career high came off like a night of partying, and then the other one that you said was like, man, there's so many guys that could just go out and get 30 if they let you.
Yeah.
So do you think like casual fans don't understand that? Because like I like what Brian Scalabrine used to do this in the past. He used to just be like, I think the coldest line he ever said, he's like, yo, I'm closer to LeBron
than you are to me. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That's like a flying knee in the first round, bro. You can't say nothing to that.
Yeah, you can't. That's like the biggest trash talk ever.
Yeah, but do you think like the casuals, like the fan, or even not even casuals, like even some of the diehard fans, like they don't understand the level of like every guy in the league that you could go out and if someone was like, yo, here's 18 shots a night, like how much
you can easily go out there and if you're a professional, you know what it takes to put the ball in the basket or whatever your skill is to do it on a nightly basis. All you need is the opportunity and the time. I mean, like I said, I was only good because I got the time and experience, but if I didn't get it, everyone would look at me like a scrub. So it'd be just it's just about getting that time and experience.
Man, CJ, we could go on and on, bro. I appreciate you coming on. We definitely got to chop it up more. Is there anything you want to tell the audience where they can find you? Any things you're working on?
You can find me on Instagram, X or Twitter, whatever they call it these days. QuietStorm_32, and I always write my children's books. Foundation here in Vegas for kids, and working on some angel investing, some funds with my partners.
Hell yeah, bro. Thanks for coming on again. Make sure you guys follow him. Shout him out, do the whole 9. We'll have all his information in the bio below. As far as I go, it's at NickDais10 on all social media outlets. Rate, review, subscribe, like, all that shit. Veterans Minimum is where you can find us. George, where can they find you?
At Mr. George Carmona, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.
Metal is bronze like your metal is. So many deer in headlights, but it's bedtime. Hear that supper bell, main course be the venison.
Dab. Most dangerous game. Either kill or be